everyone, it's Kelly from Kelly's Bead Boutique. So you may have noticed that I kind of have a thing for anything Celtic. I love that Celtic look and I love wire. So I'm combining the two things and I'm coming up with these fabulous earrings called my Celtic knot earrings. Sometimes you'll hear me call them cloverleaf, sometimes I call them Celtic knot. Whatever, I just love them. So come and join me and let's make a cute pair of earrings. So today I'm going to show you how to make this little Celtic knot, and we're going to turn it into a pair of earrings. I love all things Celtic, and I love wire, and I love playing with things and seeing what kind of shapes and sizes I can come up with. So that's what I'm going to show you how to do today. So for this, we're going to be using some 18 gauge non-tarnish antique copper wire. This is just our craft wire. You can use any kind of wire you like, but I do like to keep it within the 18 gauge. Otherwise, you're going to have to adjust your measurement. We're also going to be using a Sharpie and a ruler, and we've got a hammer and a bench block, and we've got our round nose pliers for creating a loop at the end, and our chain nose pliers. And today we're going to be using these bail making pliers, and I'm going to be using, they're the medium size ones. So this is the smallest one of the two. That's what I'm going to be using. And a pair of cutters. So we're going to be using flush cutters. So this one has to be a fairly exact measurement. So I'm going to take my ruler and my wire, and I'm going to straighten up my wire pretty good here. And then I'm going to use my cutters, and I'm going to take the flush side. So that's this flat side here, not the one that has the divot. And I'm just going to cut off the end, because if you can see right now, it has a little bit of a peak, and we don't want to have that on there. So I line that up, keeping them nice and straight. Always cover over the little top there because you don't want that flying off. And then now you can see that that's got a real nice little flat top on there. So I'm going to line this up, and I'm going to place it on the 4-inch mark there. And then using my Sharpie, I'm just going to give it a little mark. Now again, using the flush side towards the wire that I'm going to keep, I'm going to place that right on top there and give it a cut. So what we've got now is a piece of wire 4 inches long, and it's got both ends are nice and flush cut. And I'm going to take my medium bail making pliers, and I'm always going to work with the smallest side. I'm going to take my wire and place it in between there, and I want to make sure that I can't really feel it. If it's starting to poke out there at all, I'm going to just pull it back just a little bit until I can't feel it anymore. So now I'm going to roll into my thumb, and I always roll away from me because I find it a little bit easier. And I'm just going to keep rolling until I come to the end there. So now you can see that I've created a little bit of a P there. So now I'm going to leave that on the bottom like that, and I'm going to put my small barrel right next to it. So I'll just tilt up here, and you can see that I'm right next to that little loop that I made, and I'm going to bring my wire under and just keep rolling, and I'm going to go roll right past that. So now I've created what looks like a little bit of a sort of a backwards B there. So now I'm going to turn it so that it's facing away from me, and I'm going to have this cut end facing down. You want to make sure that you have this one on the down side. It's really important to keep these going the right way. So now I'm going to put I always keep the small one on the bottom. It just makes life a little bit easier. And you can see I've got that sandwich nice and close there. So now I'm going to bring my wire and push it underneath. And I'm rotating my pliers as I'm coming around. I want to have this nice and tight, nothing loose, and just keep that flowing the way that it's meant to go there. So now you can see I've got the third part of my clover leaf. And now I'm going to come in on the top of that like I started with. So I'm going to sandwich it in there, making sure I can't feel that, and I'm going to roll away. I always roll into my thumb. Our thumbs are actually really strong. So you just keep rolling until you get it down. Now that one's a little bit on the long side, and that's actually good because I can show you what you can do. So you can take that flush cutter and you can nip off just a little tiny bit, and always have your flush cut coming on the inside there. Now I'm going to take this, place it back in, and start rolling back in, and that just made it perfect. Sometimes you just have to cut just a little tiny bit. So now I've got both of my cut ends going on both sides there, and I'm going to show you how to hammer that. So what I'm going to use is our ball peen hammer, and I'm going to use the larger surface, not the ball peen end. And I like to always put mine on a puck. It just kind of helps absorb some of the noise. And I'm going to place it right on the corner of the bench block. This is just a small steel bench block that we have. And now I don't want to put it up top here because I will damage the look of the little clover leaf. So I'm going to just pop it on the end there, and I'm going to just gently hammer just that little round part there. And I'm going to repeat that on all 4 corners. And you can see I'm sort of pivoting to try to get it where I want it to. So there we have our matching set of little clover links. You can use these in just about anything. You can use them like a little link, like you could place a bead in between and make a long chain in a necklace, which would be fabulous, or in a bracelet. But I'm going to just show you how to just throw together a little pair of earrings here. So I've got some balled up head pins, and I'm going to place on a gorgeous piece of check glass, and then a little spacer, and another piece of check glass. And I'm going to make just a simple wrapped loop. So I'm going to go down there and bend away. I'm going to grab my round nose pliers, up, over, down, rotate, and then I'm going to place it in one of my links. So I like to place it in the ones that don't have the cut end on. I find that the side ones are a little bit stronger, so I'm going to use it on that. Not that this weighs very much, but that's what I like to do, is put it on the ones that don't have the little cuts. So that's my little recommendation, is if you're making a bracelet or a necklace, is that you use these sides. I'll show you more here when I get that off there, that you use the sides that don't have the cuts on them. So let me get this finished here, and then I'll show you what I mean there. So you can see that there's the cut sides there, and they're pretty tight. I've hammered them pretty strong, but it does, you could pull it, but if you pull this way, it's not going to go anywhere. So especially on a bracelet or necklace, make sure you use these sides for your links. So and then I'm just going to pop on an ear wire. Close that up. And there you go. So I'm just going to repeat on the other one here. So there we go. There's our Celtic knot earrings. So super simple. Sometimes I call them clover leaf. Sometimes I call them Celtic knot. Call them whatever you like, but I call them lots of fun. So if you enjoyed this video, please make sure to give me a like. Leave me a comment, as I always get back to everybody. And please subscribe to my channel. And thank you so much for watching.